6,000. Hi everybody, welcome back to yoga here at the Sika Senior Activity Center. Let me see if I could fix my little camera here. Nice to have everybody live that comes on online, and thank you Richard, Evelyn, and Carrie for coming here today. All right, we are going to move into the throat chakra, and Monday will also be throat chakra, but next Wednesday, we'll be moving into our third eye space, and that's usually an indigo blue or navy blue. So turquoise for our throat chakra or sky blue. All right, I'm going to scoot back so that we can get started.
Sky blue was the color too.
Yeah, sky blue, turquoise, and quite honestly, if you do meditation and want to really get into the ethereal sense, it's actually a purple for the throat. So all sorts of things there.
Oh, I didn't know. Those are all different colors.
They are. You'll find out the colors just kind of, they're for us to, I guess, help out for our visualization more than anything.
We might need a fan on. It's hot in here.
You can. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
So as we get started into the throat chakra, we are going to be moving into Ujjayi breath today. I'm going to bring both hands just gently over the throat space. So remember, throat chakra is right here at that base of the neck where the indent happens. And just rest hands softly over. And allow the shoulders to relax, allow the elbows to relax. Both of my feet are grounded, hip width distance apart. I'm comfortably on my seat, feeling secure as my toes point forward. And I'm going to drop my chin just slightly. I'm going to draw my navel in so that I'm lengthening through my low back. My heart or my sternum might lift a little bit as my chin slowly just moves a little bit down to lengthen through the neck. You're also finding the crown of the head reaching up towards the sky. Now we're going to come into that Ujjayi breath. We're looking for constriction at the glottis muscle right at the base of the throat. So the inhale is neutral as we come through the nose. And the exhale, you can start off with like we're fogging the mirror for 2 times. So it's remember that constriction in the throat. Let's inhale. Now you find that constriction, you're going to just close the mouth, and we're going to try and use that same breath with the mouth closed. You'll notice in the inner ear, it sounds like ocean waves crashing on the shore. Now, as we find that Ujjayi breath, my eyes are shut. I'm going to move right into our silent mantra. Our intention for today, our sankalpa. I speak my truth with compassion. I speak my truth with compassion. I speak my truth with compassion. And just learning to express and assert ourselves, but always being kind and using compassion and empathy. One more Ujjayi breath here. And gently release that neck, throat chakra. Palms are forward, mountain pose. Let's go ahead and inhale, bring the shoulders up to the ears, squeezing tight. And exhale, you can rotate the palms towards you, point the fingers down, chin into chest. I'm going to make fists with this next one. Contract my arms, contract my shoulders, and bring my gaze up, tilting the chin up. And exhale, I'm going to bring it back down. I'm going to stretch through the shoulders, down through my fingertips, chin into chest. Let's try and add the Ujjayi breath to this. Inhale, lifting up. And the exhale, Ujjayi breath, chin to chest. Let's go ahead and do one more. Inhale, squeezing up, bringing that gaze up. And exhale, Ujjayi breath down. All right, bringing the head to neutral here. I'm going to take my arm behind my back, reaching for my other arm. Now, I can't reach for my other arm elbow. If I could, I'd keep it in and my palm down, and I'd just be hanging on to that elbow. Right now, I am reaching. My fingertips come to about over here on this side, so I am reaching. I'm gonna bring my hand down though. That shoulder's relaxed, so you're gonna let the ear move to that shoulder where the hand is relaxed, where the arm is relaxed, so that you're feeling the side neck stretch. Let's move into Ujjayi breath for 3 more times here. Now from there, you're going to release that. Go ahead and lift the head to neutral. Take that same arm from the back. You're reaching down the center vertebrae. Let's open up that elbow. Take the head, the shoulder we were just leaning to, and look over to that side. Draw the chin down towards the armpit. You're looking towards that arm. Take that arm that's on the lap, bring it up, and bring it to the crown of the head as you gently press down, so that now you have some pressure in the back of the neck, and the chin is moving down towards the armpit or chest. You're coming back to Ujjayi breath. So back to the constriction of the throat for 2 more times. Gently release both hands, both arms. As you do, you're going to bring the chin right down center of chest. From there, let's inhale, bring the chin off the chest, just back to neutral. Let's interlace the fingers, send them behind the head, press the back of the head into the hands as we open nicely through the elbows, relax the shoulders. Allow the feet to stay nice and grounded, the abs to tuck in. And let's exhale, chin into chest, bring the elbows forward. Keep the back length, just hinging at the neck. Let's inhale, open back up, and this time maybe expanding up towards the sky. As we exhale, let's find that Ujjayi breath, constriction. Inhale, opening, expanding. Exhale, Ujjayi breath, constriction. Inhale, let's expand and open. And last one, Ujjayi breath. Go ahead and gently release the hand. As we release the hands, let's take the opposite arm behind the low back. Reach for this hip or this side of the waist. That's option 1, as the hand stays here. If you're flexible enough and you can grab that arm, that elbow, then you can hang on and still bring the hand close. So either one is fine, but now that we have that hand reaching back, let's tilt our head towards that shoulder that our hand is mostly forward. Come back to Ujjayi breath again. We have 3 more Ujjayi breaths. From there, release the hand from the back. You can bring the head to neutral if that feels good. Take that same side hand that was towards the back, reach down the center of the vertebrae. Once you do, maybe chin went into chest, let's open up that elbow, open up the chin by gazing forward. Then let's go ahead and lean again to that side, and then rotate the chin down towards the armpit so that we're looking towards that elbow. From there, the hand that's on the lap, take that, open up the fingers, come to the crown of the head, and gently add a little bit of pressure so that the chin is pressing down towards your armpit. Let's find 4 Ujjayi breaths. One more breath. Gently release, relax the chin all the way down to center of the chest. And inhale, let's bring it back to neutral. All right, from there, we're gonna take one hand right over the knee, the other hand over the knee. So we're kind of hinged forward. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the back. We're going to stretch or bring the ear towards the opposite shoulder than your knee. So if this is your right knee, it's your left shoulder. You're gonna bring right ear towards left ear towards the left shoulder. And then see if you can lift the chin and bring the gaze slightly up. Ujjayi breath here. 3 more times. One more Ujjayi breath. Gently release the hands from there. Let's go ahead and draw chin down into chest. And inhale, let's bring the arms all the way up and over. Exhale, palms together, hands to heart. Inhale, let's take it up. And exhale, release. We're gonna take stacked hands to the opposite knee. So remember that opposite knee, we're gonna tilt the head the opposite way. So if this is your left knee, tilt the head to the right. And then from there, you're gonna lift the chin so that you feel the stretch in the front part of the neck here. Coming back to 4 Ujjayi breaths. Let's find one more breath here. And gently release that again. As you release the hands, hands come to knees, but you're going to draw the chin down. Let's exhale, round the back and come into cat while the chin is in the chest. Inhale, we're gonna come forward to cow, expanding. You can pull the elbows in, send the heart, the gaze forward. Let the back dip. Now on our next few exhales, the next 3, in fact, we're gonna be doing lion's breath. That is sticking out the tongue to your chin and bringing the eyes between the third eye space, so between the brows. It's only on the exhale on cat, so starting here. Inhale, back to cow. I know it's almost a trick here, but we have to look at the third eye as well. And just inhale, regular cow. We're going to come into a regular cat. So just allow yourself to exhale in the cat. And inhale, let's take it all the way back up and over. And exhale, palms together, hands to heart. All right, today we're gonna come up and out of the chair. We're gonna possibly move into a warrior 3, as well as some spinal balances. So I like to grab my chair. Now, option 1 for this actually is behind the chair or a wall here. You decide if you want option 1. You're still hip width distance apart. You're using the chair. So when spinal balance comes or when we lift, you're bringing the toes back. You're squeezing the glutes or you're lifting and slightly tilting. You're using the opposite arm usually when we go into spinal balance mode. So you'll be able to do the same things here as you can do here. This is harder. So this is a more difficult type of thing to do. If you want to do this, you can do this as well. So starting whether we're standing all the way up or we have our alignment here on the seat, let's go ahead and pick up our left heel, draw it back. Let's keep the toes and the ball of the foot on the ground, but our leg is lengthened. So tighten and squeeze the leg, squeeze that glute. Keep the back lengthened. And then let's bring it back in. Now we're gonna lift the opposite heel, draw back. Heel is still lifted, ball of the foot and toes are on the ground. Lengthen that leg, squeeze the leg like you're tightening the muscle towards the bone. Squeeze that glute. And then when you're ready to release, Draw it back forward. Let's go ahead and take one arm. Draw it forward. Keep those knees soft, but draw the abs in and really stretch forward. And let's go ahead and soften that down. Opposite side, we're going to inhale, stretch it forward. And exhale, soften. Here comes spinal balance. Inhale, one arm moves forward, other heel moves back. You can find it back in that same spot, but squeezing the glute, squeezing the leg. Or you can lift the leg, but no higher than your hip. Same squeeze, and let's exhale, slowly bring it in. Opposite hand to opposite leg. You can keep the heel up, you can squeeze that side, or you can lift up. And let's exhale, soften back down. So we're going to be moving like that for the next 3 times. Let's add the Ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, squeeze. Coming slowly back in with that Ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Ujjayi breath, squeeze. Inhale, lengthen, opposites. Exhale, squeeze in, Ujjayi breath. Inhale, opposites. Exhale, Ujjayi breath, squeeze. We have one more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze, Ujjayi breath. Draw those abs in. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Hopefully stay with that Ujjayi breath. Whether we're on the back of the chair and we're heightened, or we're here, we're still looking at hip width distance apart, but drawing back. So even if you're up here on this, you're still drawing back into your chair pose. You're still looking to make sure that the knees aren't surpassing your toes. Lengthen through the back. Let's find one more Ujjayi breath here. Inhale, lengthen all the way up and over. Let's stretch up. And exhale, release the arms. All right, some of us might have been forward like me. That was option B or 2. Option 1 was back here. So I'm going to come back to option 1 for this. You can stay at option 2. So you're welcome to stay at option 2. It's just our warrior 3. So it's almost the same as spinal balance, but we're just using our legs. So if you're up here, soften those knees. Again, you're going to pull it back. You can always stay here and just tighten this glute, squeeze the leg. Or while this knee is soft, so stabilizing knee is soft, not locking it out, you're like a teeter-totter hinging forward. It's okay if the forehead, the chin, or the chest comes towards that chair. If you find yourself opening to the side like this and stacking the hips, then rotate slowly downward so that you can put a dinner plate on your low back, that the hips are side by side with the shoulders. You're looking for one more Ujjayi breath here. And let's exhale, gently release that. We're going to simply move on to the other leg. So plant that leg. Let's walk it back and forth for a moment, or just move side to side here, just letting the weight shift. And then let's, again, come back into the feet, soft knees. Other heel picks up, draw it back. Remember, you can stay right here. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze that leg, hinge slightly forward. If you want to come into the full warrior 3, you're lifting up through that leg, you're hinging forward. If you find yourself opening to that side, you want to bring yourself back forward, down towards the ground, towards the chair, and the hips are side by side with the shoulders. Ujjayi breath for 2 more times. And let's exhale, slowly release that down, coming back up. So while we're behind the chair or in front of the chair, we're coming back to our chair pose. So that means glutes come back, knees start to soften, they don't surpass your toes. They can come right up to the tips of the toes, but just make sure you can still see those toes as you hang on to your chair. Let's go ahead and inhale, lengthen up through. We'll do this 3 more times. Ujjayi breath, starting to bring it back down. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it down. Last one, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, chair pose. Let's inhale, bring it up. All right. You might bring the chair in front of you. We are going to come into star pose. So that's just another balancing pose. You can have a wall, a chair, something that's supportive. I'm going to start the hip width distance apart, softening my knees. I'll grab the chair, one hand on the hip. Let's go ahead and start to dorsiflex the foot and see if we can't bring it out. If we can balance there, or if we cannot, bring a toe down so that you have a toe tip on the ground. Let's see if we can take the hand from the hip and rise it up, palm out. We're moving into our shooting star here. Again, you can keep the toe on the ground, or you can dorsiflex the foot, and you can bring up the other arm if you have that balance. If not, keep the hand on the wall or chair. 2 more Ujjayi breaths. Let's gently release that, coming back. I'm going to simply switch to the other side. So lots of options for this balance for you. You don't have to make it all the way out to the full falling star. Hip width distance, soften those knees, hand on chair, hand on hip. Maybe we bring that leg out and dorsiflex, or we point the toes down and touch the toe there for that extra balance for ourselves. Another one is opening up that same side arm. You decide where you're at with this. If you want to let go of the chair and come into the full falling star, it is both arms up, palms forward, opening through the chest. 2 Ujjayi breaths. And let's gently release and relax that. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way down to our chair. So we're going to sit in our chair is what I mean. All right, let's open up for a little more wide of a stance here. And as we come to a wider stance, we're going to come into our movement of side angle and reverse warrior. So side angle, sweep the palm up, bring the forearm elbow down. Let's inhale, bring that other arm all the way up and over if we can. And then exhale, you're going to sweep that arm back down, but the arm that's hinged, that's on the lap, inhale and just look up, bring the palm towards you, stretch up towards the ceiling, and exhale, take it back to that side angle pose. Inhale, that arm sweeps up and over for the stretch. The exhale, we're turning it into reverse warrior, so that arm comes back down and the arm from the lap comes up, you're reaching up. Exhale again, try to stick with that Ujjayi breath, bring the arm down. Inhale, opposite arm comes up and over. Exhale, let's bring that down as we come into reverse warrior again. Inhale, rise that arm up. Exhale, this is going to be our last side angle. Inhale, arm up and over. Exhale, last reverse warrior. Inhale. And now let's exhale, warrior 2, arms, palms face down. Look over one shoulder. Ujjayi breath. One more time. Now from there, dip the chin down. Take that half circle forward down, across to the other way, and look to those fingertips for 2 Ujjayi breaths. gently release that. Bring the gaze back forward. So we did one side with that side angle. And with our reverse warrior, let's take it to the other. Palm up, forearm, elbow down. Start to inhale, sweep that arm up and over if we can. And you're only going as far and as much as you can. Let's exhale, find that transition. Arm comes down. Inhale, see if we can look up towards the sky as we reach up with that opposite arm. Exhale again, finding that transition. Inhale all the way up and over. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale. Exhale, we're taking it back to side angle pose. Find the inhale, sweeping up and over. Exhale, finding our reverse warrior, nice and slow as we move through the transition. Inhale. Exhale that transition. Inhale, side angle pose. Exhale. Inhale, our reverse warrior. And let's exhale, warrior two arms. Now while we have warrior two arms, see if we can heel toe back in and scoot our feet back to hip width distance apart. And maybe even allow yourself to rock side to side like me. I'm also scooting my glutes forward so I have more grounding in my feet. And then we're gonna pause here. Make sure we have that hip width distance apart or shoulder width distance apart, grounded feet, toes pointing forward. Let's do palm up on one side and inhale as we stretch that side, but try to keep the arms parallel with the earth plane. Exhale, come back to center. Palm up for the other side. Inhale, stretch it over. Exhale, palm down. Inhale, lengthen over. Exhale, palm rotates down. Inhale, palm up. Exhale, finding that Ujjayi breath as we come back to center. Inhale to the side. Exhale. I know arms are getting tired. Inhale. Exhale. We only have one more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Let's release those arms and just roll through the shoulders here. So nice big shoulder rolls. Come back to Ujjayi breath if we can. Now we might have been rolling one direction. Let's roll the opposite direction. You can take it nice and slow. Try to find that Ujjayi breath. Constriction on the throat. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, draw back as far as you can, making the biggest circle. Inhale, lengthen up and over. Exhale, draw back. Down to your sides. Inhale, up and over. Exhale. One more time. Now from there, we're going to switch that. Inhale, back up, over. Exhaling forward and down. Inhale. And exhale. Try to find the Ujjayi breath. We have one more moving in this direction. Bring hands to knees. So from hands to knees, I am scooting a little bit further forward. We're gonna exhale, pull the elbows in, come to a flat back, hinge forward. Feel the stretch in the low back here. So you're keeping the flat back, navel's tucked in, chin can drop. Now you're gonna hang on to those knees because they're gonna pull the shoulders forward when we sit up. So let's inhale, start to lift up. Let the shoulders pull forward. Look over one shoulder. Let's find the exhale if we can, moving forward, down, finding that platform here in the back. Hanging on to knees, inhale, lengthening up. Shoulders move forward. Let's look over the opposite shoulder. Finding our way back forward as we exhale. Inhale, hanging on to knees, looking over the shoulder. Exhale, forward, down. Inhale, looking over the opposite shoulder. We have two more. Exhale, hinge forward, keep the back flat. Inhale, hang on to knees, look over shoulder. If you want to add a little bit of a tilt, you can. Exhale, forward, down. And what that looks like is inhale, look over the shoulder, but then tilt that ear back. And let's bring it forward on an exhale. We only have one more on each side. Inhale. Exhale, forward, down. This is our last one. Inhale. And let's exhale, bring it back. This time, as we have here, flat back, grounded feet, strong legs, sweep the arms down, palms then face forward, sweep them back for airplane arms. We find airplane as we stretch back towards that back wall, palms face the floor, and we're bringing those pinkies a little bit closer together as we lift up towards the ceiling. Let's find our Ujjayi breath. A little bit of shaking is always good for us. Let's find one more Ujjayi breath. And exhale, soften, release those arms. Inhale, this time let's rotate palms up as if we can't bring the palms all the way up over, as if we're trying to touch the back wall. Elbows may soften, but draw the navel in so that we're not stretching the low back. We're supporting the low back with our legs, with our abs. Just drawing those palms back and then gently release. As we release, let's take one arm across the chest, other hand somewhere between elbow and shoulder, and let's press towards ourselves, so towards our heart, towards our chest. Back to Ujjayi breath. Two more Ujjayi breaths. Now as we start to relax on that last Ujjayi breath, start to relax the hand to the elbow, palm faces you. Let's start to bring that hand back towards the center of the vertebrae. Allow the chin to move into the chest if that helps you. Hang on to the elbow. Try to help that hand, arm move down the center of the vertebrae. Once you've done that, ground your feet, stabilize your legs, tuck the abs in, and lift the chin off the chest. Bring the gaze straight forward. We have 4 Ujjayi breaths here. One more. Gently release that. Let's go ahead and bring the opposite arm across the chest. Hand comes somewhere as either between elbow and shoulder, or can come to the elbow or to the shoulder. You are pressing that arm towards you, towards the chest, so that you feel this nice stretch for Ujjayi breaths. from there, simply relax. I like to bring my elbow into my hand, palm faces me, and then I'm gonna bring that arm back. I'm gonna dip my chin down just to help the hand come down the center of the vertebrae. I have a good grip on my elbow. Let's ground the feet, strong legs, draw the navel in, and lift the chin. Bring the gaze back to neutral for Ujjayi breaths. One more Ujjayi breath. From there, let's inhale, reach the arms up. We are going to come into our forward fold. Decide what that looks like for you and what that feels like. Release down over the lap. Remembering the option is to release all the way and relax. Another option is hands on knees, pull elbows in, and just find that length and back. Maybe relaxing head and neck, so releasing the chin. Another option is to keep the neck lengthened with the back. Wherever you're at in your forward fold, you're looking to come back to an expansion breath. So even though we're exhaling Ujjayi breath, let's make sure we try and find a nice deep expansion breath as well on the inhale. We have one more Ujjayi breath here. If you were all the way over the lap with me, take hands to knees, pull elbows in. Inhale through a nice half back as we press our way back up. As we press our way back up, let's go ahead and lift the shoulders, lift the head, and then take ear towards one shoulder. Keep the shoulders up. You're just basically bringing that ear towards the shoulder. You might bring that gaze forward, but then let the chin lift back up while the shoulders are up to the ears, and bring it to the opposite ear shoulder, maybe bringing that gaze forward. Let's from there release the shoulders, tilt the chin forward down. Pause there at the center of the chest and pull the elbows in, send the shoulders back and down, squeeze the scapulas together towards your vertebrae. Let's then relax the shoulders and bring the ear towards the opposite shoulder and the gaze forward. Take a breath. Exhale. Let's release chin back down into center chest. And from there, let's inhale, squeeze the shoulders up, lift the chin, lift the gaze. And exhale to neutral. All right. Let's go ahead and take a moment and bring, let's take a moment to get ready for Shavasana is what we're doing. All right. Thought we had a few more minutes, but we're good for Shavasana. All right, getting ready for Shavasana at home just looks like finding a good relaxation, a good position to relax into. All right, so if we're at home or in an office and we need to stay sitting up because we're sitting in a chair, let's just try to relax the legs nice and open, just like we would if we're in regular Shavasana, where we allow the feet to open up, the legs to open up, to relax in our seat. Then if you happen to be in your chair, release the chin slightly forward and down towards your chest. Allow the palms to face up. Allow the arms to relax. If you happen to be in an easy chair on the ground, maybe you find support with the legs coming up and over a chair or a couch that helps the low back to relax. Or maybe you have bolsters under the knees. You are just looking to find comfort here as we relax. Starting here, let's come back to the Ujjayi breath, remembering the slight constriction on the base of the throat. I'm just trying to make lots of noise while we get quiet. All right. You're looking to relax here. You're still using that Ujjayi breath of constriction, so you're listening to your own breath. You're listening to the ocean waves of your breath as you notice that the rhythm of the breath matches the ocean waves. And you could hear that in your inner ears as you use the constriction of the throat on the exhales. Now noticing the breath move in and out of the throat space. You hear the vibration that you're creating. You feel the vibration. And this is our essence of communication. As we visualize a turquoise or sky blue color right at the